So anyway, quickly moving on through the questions. There are many young Arab brothers who have the desire to follow the Sunnah, but they listen to Abu Ishaq al-Huwayni and Muhammad al-Hassan. What is this? Who are these speakers and what is their opposition? These speakers are considered to be from the Qutbiyin, from the people of al-Qutbiyya, the followers of Sayid Qutb and the methodology of Sayid Qutb. That's why they were behind and they supported this revolution that took place in Egypt, a couple of years ago. And they supported that which Ikhwan al-Muslimin they were doing. And they were supportive of that which was taking place in Tahrir Square. In fact, they called it a jihad. A bid'ah, a revolution against a ruler, they regard it to be jihad in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They have praise of Sayyid Qutb. And Sayyid Qutb is an innovator from the flag bearers of innovation of this generation. There is not a bid'ah that I know of from the groups of bid'ah of the Mu'tazila or the Shia or the Khawarij or Sufiya or Irja that except that Sayyid Qutb had it in him. Sayyid Qutb held that the Quran was created. Sayyid Qutb held that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is indwelling in the creation. Sayyid Qutb, he reviled the companions such as Muawiyah radiallahu anhu and Uthman bin Affan and Amr ibn al-As, reviled those companions radiallahu anhum. He even reviled the prophets of Allah such as Musa alayhi salam, accusing of being impetuous and looking for trouble on every turn and throwing down the scrolls. This is what he accused Musa alayhi salam, mocking him. In his speech he was mocking Musa alayhi salam. So these individuals are defenders of Sayyid Qutb. And they carry the banner of Sayyid Qutb in Egypt. And they have their compatriots also in the other Arab lands. So they have, for example, in Saudi Arabia, the Syrian Adnan Ar'ur. Same methodology. So these types of individuals should not be listened to. And their lectures should not be spread. And their articles should not be read. And the scholars have warned against them. The likes of Sheikh Rabi', the likes of even Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala, that they used to warn against the likes of Adnan Ar'ur. Abu Ishaq al-Huwayni, there are books written against him. Muhammad bin Abdul-Waahid, or Hassan bin Abdul-Waahid, Al-Banna hafidhahullah ta'ala, he has a muqaddimah to a book that has been written. It is somewhere in the region of 800 pages in refutation of the da'wah of Abu Ishaq al-Huwayni, Muhammad al-Hassan, and their party Al-Qutbiyya Al-Sururiyya, written by Abu Abdul A'la. And that book is available with the introduction by Sheikh Muhammad Hassan bin Abdul-Wahhab al-Banna, hafidhahullah ta'ala, from the elder scholars of Egypt. And Hassan bin Abdul-Wahhab al-Banna is, of course, he came and stayed with me at my house in Birmingham for a while. And I spoke to him, I said to him, did you meet Khalil Harras? He was Kaif, of course I met Khalil Harras. I said, did you meet Ahmed Shakir? He said, I met Ahmed Shakir and Mahmoud Shakir. And these are ulama of their age, muhaddithun, great scholars of their age from the 1940s and 50s onwards. So he wrote a muqaddimah to this book in refutation of these individuals. They are Qutbiyin, rebellers upon the manhaj of the Khawarij and Ikhwan al-Muslimin. And Ikhwan al-Muslimin, of course, you know their founder, Hassan al-Banna, who was executed by the Egyptian government in the 1930s. And likewise, Sayyid Qutb, who is from their greatest scholars. Every bid'ah, Sayyid Qutb made takfir upon the whole of the mujtama. And the whole of the society, he made takfir upon them. To the extent that towards the end of his life, he stopped praying Jummah behind them. He said, I'm going to pray Jummah behind these kuffar. He said, these mu'adhins that call the adhan, they're kuffar. This is the da'wah of Sayyid Qutb. He said that the whole of society today, it is a society of jahiliyyah, worse than the jahiliyyah before the coming of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He made takfir of the whole of the ummah. He said there is no Islamic land in the world today, all of it is upon kufr. Takfir of the whole of the ummah. He said this is the ummah gha'iba, the absent ummah, it doesn't exist. Meaning that the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is no longer in existence. This is Sayyid Qutb, declared all of the rulers to be kuffar. Every single last one of them. And held that the only way to revive is by removing them, killing them, and replacing them. And then on the same hand, when he was asked about Islam, what is Islam? He said Islam is a concoction of Christianity and communism. This is Islam, a concoction of Christianity and communism. When the scholars like Sheikh Ibn Baz heard these types of words and what he said about Musa alayhi salam, Sheikh Ibn Baz said that this is the statement, this statement is a statement of kufr. And as for mockery of a prophet, then that is ridda. Even though Ibn Baz withheld from making takfir of him. But Ibn Uthaymeen said, he said, Wallahi, if it was not for our wara', if it was not for the fact of piety, then we would have declared him to be a kafir. They hold him to be the mujaddid of the era. Adnan Arur regarded Sayid Qutb, and also these individuals who praise Sayid Qutb, and they read his books and they call for the reading of his books. Muhammad Qutb, the brother of Sayid Qutb, only died the other day. Look at how they nurtured the students in Saudi, anyone that they could get from the kingdom of Saudi Arabia to nurture them, they nurtured them upon the methodology of Sayyid Qutb. Like Safar al-Hawali, Salman al-Awda. Safar al-Hawali wrote a book, ظاهرات الإرجاء في فكر الإسلامي. The appearance of irja in Islamic thought. Introduction by Muhammad Qutb, the brother of Sayyid Qutb, who was given political asylum in Saudi Arabia because they felt sorry for him. So when he entered into Saudi Arabia, how did he reply to how did he thank them? He began immediately to plot against the rulers, by raising up youth who would rebel against the rulers. Safar al-Hawali. In this book of Safar al-Hawali, Zahiratul Irja is an attack upon the aqidah of Ahlul Sunnati wal Jama'ah, and specifically upon Shaykh al-Albani rahimahullah. To the extent that they would say, even you have homegrown here in America, followers of the likes of that methodology. Ali Tamimi is a follower of Safar al-Hawali, Salman al-Awda, and the likes of these people, Muhammad Qutb and so on. Nurtured upon their methodology. He refused to take on the methodology of Shaykh al-Albani and Shaykh Ibn Baz and Ibn Uthaymeen, abandoned them for these individuals, the Qutbiyin. And now he's in prison. Serving, 24 life sentences, whatever it is, I don't know. How many life sentences? Allahu A'lam. May they rot in prison. May they rot in prison. Or that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides them to tawbah, and they repent from that which they caused in the ummah, the harm that they caused. Because Ali Tamimi came to the United Kingdom 1993, 1994, and then in 1996. When he came in 1996, wallahi, with one sole intention, to take the Salafi youth. By that time the Salafi youth, what did I say? That the Salafis had begun around the United Kingdom to gather together behind the scholars, teaching the books, learning the aqidah. This man turns up in 1996 and tells the people to follow the manhaj of Safar al-Hawali and Salman al-Awda, who were refuted by Shaykh Abdul-Aziz bin Baz, and refuted by Shaykh al-Albani, refuted by Ibn Uthaymeen, and the scholars of the era. Either at that time or after that time, they were refuted. So he came to divide the ranks of Ahlul Sunnah. I sat with him personally in Leicester, in Britain, in 1996. At the invite of some of his followers, they said, come and sit. If he doesn't convince you, we will not bother you again. So I went. And I brought the tape recorder and I said, I'm going to record you. Do you mind? He said, no. As soon as I pressed record, he stopped talking. Wouldn't talk. I said, you don't mind talking? He said, yeah, I don't mind talking. Now he wants to talk about general issues. How are you? How is your health? Quran and Sunnah is very nice, mashallah. That's what he wants to hear. So I said, okay. And it was the old audio tapes in those days. So I pressed stop, I pulled out the tape and I put it down. I said, now you have to speak straight to me. He said, there's a conspiracy. Dawah Salafiyah has been infiltrated. I said, who infiltrated? He said, the kuffar, the New World Order. They have infiltrated the CIA, they have infiltrated Mossad, they have infiltrated, they have joined the ranks of the Salafis and they are trying to corrupt their aqidah. I said, does Shaykh bin Baz know? He said, no. I said, Ibn Uthaymeen? He said, no. They were alive, of course. Shaykh bin Baz and Ibn Uthaymeen, they were alive at the time. I said, Shaykh al-Albani? He said, no. None of them know. I said, who knows? He said, we know. From that day, I washed my hands of these people. I said, you said to me, if I sit with him, it's over. It's over. Alhamdulillah, it's over. Alright? This is the manhaj of Muhammad al-Hassan, Adnan Arur, and whomsoever is in their party, and whomsoever defends them. And this is why it makes you wonder why the likes of Ali al-Halabi that he finds it so difficult to criticize them. He writes hundreds and hundreds of pages against Ahlul Sunnah. And he went around the dunya warning against them and corrupting the Salafi youth, taking their wealth. They were the forerunners to the Maghrib Institute. They would come to England and do courses and charge people £100 or £200 a head to teach them Usul al-Sunnah. When Imam Ahmad was teaching the Usul of the Sunnah, did he charge his students? They wanted to come and they started. Until this day, they have not stopped in their fitna and fasad amongst the Salafis.